That's right, everybody. It's a Saturday evening special and I am the host, Nemesis Prime, and I have a very special guest with me from Lords of the Long Box. Say what's up to everybody, Milton the Manimal.
What's going on, everyone? You can see my name right there. I feel like a caged manimal.
I know. I gotta come up with a name for that. I'm stuck in the Hall of the Primes or something. Who knows? But we'll give it a couple seconds, see if anybody joins us on this Saturday evening. I know there's always auctions going on and some other live shows, but we're all quarantined, right? So
what time is it there right now?
It just hit 7 o'clock.
7? Okay.
So yeah, we'll see what happens if anybody joins us. If not, you and me will just chat up some some comics. We got some stuff to show off. If you guys are watching this live or watching the rewind, both Zach and myself, we're going to be doing a CGC 9.8 pre-screen.
Yeah.
So he's sending me some books, and
that's my first time doing this. I'm kind of excited about it. Also nervous. Out of the 12 books that I'm going to send you, watch only one comes out in 9.8 or something. It's moderately embarrassing.
Hey, you never know. Hey, what's going on, Anthony Debo? Anybody else hanging out with, let us know in the chat. Say what's up. Yeah, I got a ton of books. I'm probably going to show off like 15 books, but
nice.
We'll see which ones are my final choices, between first appearances and even stuff to sell. So I'm sending in some stuff to sell, sending in some stuff to just to keep in the PC. So, yeah. But it's Saturday evening. Cheers to everybody. What do you got drinking over there, Manimal?
I got some Blue Moon. I got some scraps right now. Blue Moon. I got a couple Ultras in the fridge. My girlfriend has some nasty-ass pecan beer. And I got a bottle of Jameson somewhere I can always scrounge up.
Nice. I just been drinking Tito's all day. Been cleaning this entire place and just drinking Tito's and seltzer water or Tito's and some Snapple, which is always good. So,
yeah,
Anthony,
I hit you up today and I was just like, bro, I'm bored as fuck. Let's go live.
Exactly. I got some time to kill. It's so shitty over here in Jersey. Looking outside, it's nothing but raining all day. What about you over in Texas?
It's actually pretty nice here. The sun's out. It's a little chilly. It's like 60, which I guess isn't chilly to you, but it's pretty nice. I'm not typically like an outdoorsy kind of person. I'm not the kind of person who who's like, let's go out. It's super, super nice. I like to go to the beach. I do like to go to the pool if it's really great, but I like to be inside too. So, this pale skin,
for Texas, it's
the red hair. It's not great for the sunlight.
Anthony Debo asked, did you guys get the new torpedo mystery boxes? I will tell you that I ordered 2 of Steve's mystery boxes, which is the Amazing Fantasy or Amazing Spider-Man, I think is the...
Let me look it up. I don't think it is. That's what I saw someone say that, dude. But then when I looked it up, that's not what I saw.
Did you order the 3.0s, which is the whole 181s?
No, I didn't. I already have a 181, and I didn't really. So, it is Amazing Fantasy. I don't know what I saw last time. So, yeah, you got Grand Prize AF15 1.0, retails 9,500. Grand Prize 2 ASM 1, CGC 1.5, retails 4,500. Grand Prize 3 ASM 300 9.8, signed by Stan Lee, retails 2,900, and then 16 CGC books. So that's the one you ordered. Was $50. Yeah, right?
Yeah. I ordered 2 of them back to back. Hopefully, whatever I get. To be honest, if any of the grand prizes, I'm selling it. I'm not keeping anything.
You're not a Marvel guy.
No, for the most part. I usually just stick to a lot of the Spider characters, but still, I would easily just flip that and buy a DC book. Nice Batman key. So
you wouldn't even keep an AF-15? Really?
No.
But that's regardless if you're a Marvel guy or not, that's the grail of Marvel books.
What's the value? What do they quote value?
It's a 1.0, so it's pretty shitty, but 9,500 still respectable.
Yeah, I could definitely buy a single digit Batman or even my first Riddler, which is I'll get a 4.0 Riddler.
Okay.
That's 8,000-9,000, so yeah. I'll take that any day. But yeah, I'll take. What are the other prizes? So you have the
all ASM.
Oh,
so
it's all
15 ASM 1 and then ASM 300.
All right. Yeah, I definitely don't care. I didn't get in on the Wolverine ones. I know Gary did. I will tell you that when I do get the Steve's mystery boxes, both me and Gary, we're going to go live on his channel. Nice. We're going to do live unboxing since nobody else really bought into him. So,
wait, which did Gary get?
He got the same thing, the $50 box.
The boom box. He didn't do the mystery.
He did do
or the vault.
the Hulk ones, the
Yeah.
Hulk 181. He did do 2 boxes of that, and then he also did 2 boxes of the $50 ones. So
Fucking Gary, man. Maybe he won like the second biggest prize from the last one.
he was showing it to us last night, and Otto was actually going to buy it because he doesn't have a first Brainiac.
Oh yeah, I saw his Instagram post about it, and he was trying to call out Otto for it.
Well, it's funny. We went live last night, and then after we had like a little after show where you still hang out in StreamYard. If you guys know, you could still kind of hang out in StreamYard. And Otto invited Gary, so we're literally on for like another 35 minutes, just shooting shit. And Gary was going to trade the 4.5 first Brainiac and for Otto's 4.5 first Mr. Freeze.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the value difference on those two?
I think the Brainiac was a couple $100 more.
Isn't it an older book?
But they're both right around the same, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it was, I think Otto's was probably about like 1,600, 1,700, and the Brainiac was like 2,200 GPA. Cool. But Gary said he would have done it straight up because he needs a first Mr. Freeze.
It's just for his PC. Yeah,
because he's a Batman guy like me.
Yeah.
And I told, he's like, oh, do you want to sell me yours? And I was like, no. It's tough to get. I mean, I don't ever see it at shows. So, and I have a 3.5. So,
yeah.
But it is what it is. I don't know. What's the next thing we have? There's no conventions. This week we're going to have no books, right? Is that
no books? Special? Oh my God. I'm actually looking at Diamond previews from this previous week right now because the few things I wanted to, it sucked. Like some books came out this week so first off, it was good that Curse of the White Knight ended this week. So it was nice. It's like a wrap up. But then, what did I see here that pissed me off? It was annoying. Like some of the X-Men, there was Hellions #1. So it just started.
Yeah.
And now who knows how long we have to wait for the next issue. And the X-Men Fantastic Four 3 of 4 came out. So same thing. I gotta wait for like the last damn issue it just sucks, man.
I think there was, I don't think it's this week. Well, I know it's this month, but they have the Catwoman 80th anniversary.
That was next, I think, before the Joker, right?
Yeah. Joker's Catwoman like the end of the month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess we're going to have to wait probably maybe till like May to get Punchline's origin because that's when that's supposed to be.
Because they just did Robin, right? That just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I read that. I mean, I'm glad I didn't pick it up. I'm glad I didn't go with all the covers because they were all nothing but like reprints of like random issues. It was just like it was like a story inside. Like they took each of the different Robins and it was just a little bit of each different issue that they had. I thought it was going to be like new.
Was it new? It wasn't any new stories.
No. Oh,
super glad I didn't buy that.
Yeah, like Dick Grayson was like old school. I think he even had it was really more of like a Nightwing issue. It was like in his second series. Damien's was of course like somewhere in the Batman, like the Grant Morrison stuff. Stephanie Brown was in her like 3 issues that she's Robin.
Yeah.
Tim Drake's is in like the 400s of Batman, I think I remember. But it was just like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is really not worth, getting all the
cover price, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was like, fuck that. So
Debo asks, he said he's trying to get a Hulk 181 this year sometime. What do I think the respectable but affordable grade? So to be honest, man, and tell me what you think too, Justin. It's like everyone, was like, what's a respectable grade? In my opinion, respectable grade is whatever you want to get. Like a lot of people like to keep their stuff like, doesn't Otto like to do linear in terms of like, he'll keep like a 4.5 across the boards.
Yeah.
I have some 9.0s. In fact, I have my giant size X-Men's a 9.0. I got 9.0 Ghost Riders. So I kind of just kept the 9.0s the way they were. But I mean, honestly, with the 181, the price jump on that shit is so crazy that if you can get it, just get it and then upgrade as you go, man, would be my suggestion.
Yeah, I agree with that because that's what I did with Zatanna. I'm on my 3rd copy of that. I went from a raw copy that probably was like a mid-grade, and then I sold it. I got a 6.0, and then I sold it on the last Lord's auction, and now I'm up to a 7.5. But I think if you're going to get, especially a book like that that's so expensive, is really just getting a grade that if you're going to buy it CGC, buy it where it's presentable.
Right.
Whether it's a 2, a 2.5, a 3, if it looks nice and you're comfortable with the cover and it's complete, that's really the best thing. And then, like you said, you can always upgrade it at some point. So,
And yeah, like you said, you're like the king of upgrading from everyone. Like people I know, I always hear you about upgrading your books. And yeah, I guess my suggestion also would be get whatever grade you can get. And then like Justin said too, make sure you can resell it. That's the thing. Make sure it's sellable to someone else. Because if you bought it and you liked it, then someone else probably will like it as well. And that way you can sell it and upgrade later. So try not to get like a faded ass copy or like a torn ass page or something like that. Especially with a book like that. That's not, I mean, that's Bronze Age. You shouldn't be getting like a super shitty version of that.
No, I mean, even I've never seen that book lower than like a 4.
Right.
I can't imagine that book being lower than 4, unless it's got the missing coupon or missing the back page. Or I think the worst I've ever seen was Wolverine was cut out on the front cover. Like,
really?
The way that they literally took like an X-Acto knife and X-Acto knifed him out. And it was.
You remember what the grade was?
I don't know if it was even graded. I think it was just raw. So you just saw like Wendigo and Hulk, but they took Wolverine off the cover.
And then like the credits page behind it. Like,
oh my God. It was so sad.
Yeah.
And that was a book that I saw a couple, probably now going on like at least 5 years ago. I saw that at a shop in Newark in Newark, New Jersey. And it was like $400 or $500. And I looked at it and it was complete coupon, everything. And I passed on it for like 3 weeks just because I just was like, whatever. And I slapped myself in the face because I easily could have just bought it, slabbed it up and just held on to it.
So that's the other thing about that book is if you're serious about buying it, do not wait because every damn month that book jumps. It's really a book that if you're planning on buying it, if like, one day it will be in your collection, it's better to get it now than it is later because it'll spike again when that shit comes out that he's joining the MCU. And there's a lot of talk. I think we even expected that they might even do a Hulk versus Wolverine, like something straight out the pages of that issue that'll make it spike like crazy.
No, yeah, that between that and Alpha Flight, because we've talked about that as well. Do we know the print run on that? I mean, not off the top of my head, and I'm sure we could just check Comicron, but that book is.
There's a lot of them. It's not like super rare.
It's in it's in that age of Marvel where there was definitely putting out tons of it. Whether it's
and it was Hulk. And Hulk was a popular title at that time. So,
I mean, do you want to show off your books that you're going to be?
Yeah, sure.
You have them.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're going to be doing. Zach's going to be sending me some books. We're sending books to CGC since they're still open, and hope they stay open. By the time Zach sends me the books and I have mine, we're doing a 25 book pre-screen, 25 issues. So the minimum you have to send in is 25 books to CGC to get them pre-screened. You can, if you guys don't know, with pre-screening, you can actually designate the grade. So if you say these 25 books, I want nothing less than say 9.0, 9.4, 9.6, or even 9.8. Me and Zach are putting in 25 books because these are all modern books. I'm guessing they're all 2000 and above, which they should be 9.8s, but you never know.
I got some 90s books in here.
Oh, really? All right. So Zach, Manimal's going to send me some books. You got about half of that. So we're basically splitting the cost. And then we're going to see, what comes back. So what do you got that you're going to be? Because I have no idea what he's bringing. And no idea what I'm sending.
So some are a couple givens. I got obviously Batman 89. Got some glare here.
Yeah, I'm putting it on the big screen so everyone can see it.
Same thing, variant issue, Batman 89.
Nice.
Batman 90.
All right.
Trying to avoid that glare there. And then
now, are these PC or sold?
I'm sorry?
Are these going to be for your PC or going to be up for
probably sold, man? I don't give two shits about the PC for this stuff. I might hang on to this punchline for a while and just see what happens with that one.
Did you see? I showed off my Year of the Villain 9.8 yesterday.
Yeah, I did. That's awesome. I was actually pretty jealous. I was like, damn it, I should have just bought one like he did. This one, I actually, this one was from my shop. So, and I actually didn't even open it. I didn't open it because I was like, fuck it, I'm going to send it. So we'll see. I kind of just want to, I like the gamble too, see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's well worth it. And just so you guys know, the way it is you're charged the normal grading fee and also I think it's $5 or $8. But if they don't come back 9.8, you're just charged whatever the fee is. So it's like $5 or $8 instead of, basically getting $28 or $30 and not knowing, you don't know the grade. So they just send it back to you ungraded and they say this one was unacceptable. What's going on, man, from Beantown? And what else you got in there?
So okay, this book kind of embarrasses me, but I was trying to find books that I wanted to send, and I didn't have a lot that looked like they might be 9.8. Not embarrassing, but I couldn't care less about this title. But the number one with a couple first appearances, so I said, hey, let's send it. It's in good condition. See how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're basically sending in these books and you pay, so you bought it for like cover price,
Right?
even if they're going to cost you somewhere in the range of 20 to 30 to grade, if you flip it for like at least $100, it's still profit.
Oh, for sure.
You know, listed at $99.99, and let it ride for some of these books.
So then I got kind of taking a look at this. Looks pretty good. Another Infinite Crisis 5, first Blue Beetle.
Nice.
Got Venom Lethal Protector 4, first Scream. And this isn't really like a first appearance, but first Alpha Flight. It's in good condition.
Nice.
Not a bad book. This one's not really a spec. So this was let me come back to that one. Oh no, okay. So IG Comic Store did a couple of these cover swipe type things. So it's just like a homage issue, and it's cool. I like it, man. It's in good condition, and I just like it. This one I probably would keep because it's a cool cover.
Yeah, some of those the ones I'm going to show too. I'm in that same boat, like exclusive variants that were to stores. So
yeah, and I got a Darkhawk 1.
Nice.
And finally, a Sleepwalker #1. So a couple fun little books here. See what goes on. Obviously, those Batman books are probably the cream of the crop there for now.
Yeah, those definitely. I mean, you could easily sell them for well over $100 a piece, and even if you sell 2 of them, it pays for your lot. Even if you just keep 1 or 2, 1 or 2 of them, or over time trickle them. What's going on, Christopher Briggs, Ghost Rider? Thanks for joining us. Anybody else who's hanging out with us? What do we have here? Otto found out that we hijacked the channel. So I'll show you my books.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, because you always, man. Your collection is very much like, I like seeing your collection mainly because, okay, let me finish my sentence. This might come out horrible. Like, it doesn't interest me. Like, I don't like the variants and stuff. That's never been my thing. But I like seeing yours because I know, for one, you're very passionate about like variants and all that stuff. And I don't know. It's intriguing. I like to see other people's collections. I like when I see people who collect different things than I do, because I'm not the kind of person who's like, oh, if you don't like what I like, what you like sucks. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I get to enjoy these variants through you without actually having to get into the variant game, which is horrible. I don't want to ever do that.
Nah, I hear you. I hear you. CT Cook says, any news on Alpha Flight getting a movie or something? We did on Lords of the Long Box. We did spec on Alpha Flight coming possibly in a Hulk versus Wolverine. So that's how they may introduce them. So we'll see about that. Anthony Debo, thanks for the $1.99 super chat. So thank you so much for that. So let me go and put myself on the main screen. So again, there's probably like 15 books. I haven't decided all of them, but let me tell you, it is just a complete mishmash of stuff. So
wait, so before you show them,
how
many are for selling and how many would be for PC and what?
I'll tell you, this first probably 6 to 8 books are probably going to be for sale. And I'm going to run through these real quick because they're all Zenoscope. And I've just had them for so long and they just look really minty fresh. And I figure if they don't come back 9.8s, I can easily just sell them anyway. So this is really cool. This is a Zenoscope book. This was, of course, it's like Punisher. This was an exclusive variant. The only way to get this was you had to get each, what was it, 2018, you had to get each cosplay cover. And then they sent you this as like the 13th cover.
And who is it? What is it?
It's just the variant cover from Zenoscope. And it's done by one of my favorite Zenoscope artists, Elias Chatzoutis. So
cool.
Basically, they did another cover like this, and it's basically the Punisher because you could see the skull. But they had like a black and white, and then an all white, and then the gold which is this one. This is the exclusive. So that's just
for
one
PC or for sale.
That's going to be for sale.
Okay.
This one I recently won on an auction. This was a 1 in 50 variant. I'm sure you may have remembered it. Original Sin. This is a Gabriel Dell'Otto Winter Soldier variant.
Yeah.
So all the Original Sin 1 in 50 variants were Gabriel Dell'Otto, and I won this on Keep It Thorough's auction. So it looks really clean. and he always is selling a lot of variants. So if I got this for a 1 bid win, I believe it was. So really cool.
Great, great cover. Horrible storyline.
I
It was horrible, dude.
I read a little bit, and then I was just like, this is just going nowhere when he's in space, and it was just like, God, so weird. These two are actually back-to-back covers. This is Paul Green, another Zenoscope. So he did like a cosplay Green Ranger.
That's cool.
So there's that one, and then they did another exclusive, which is the Pink Ranger. I figure I'll sell these as a lot.
And who's that? Is that a character from the run, the title or something?
Yeah, Death. That's her. Yeah, they do a lot of like Robin Hood, Alice, all different characters from like the fairy tales, and that's just like one of the characters is Death. This one's a little risque. This is actually limited to 75 copies. Dorothy.
Oh, it's a slutty ass Dorothy.
Damn right.
She could take me to Oz.
So that's cool. Here's another. This is like a VIP exclusive from the. Not bad, whatever.
Nice. So all these would be for sale.
These are all going to be for sale if they come back 9.8s. Here's a nice. This is like a real cool. This is like a Day of the Dead exclusive. Paul Green.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
So I actually had this same cover, but it was in a foil. So like all here was all like foil. It was limited to 50 copies. I recently sold on eBay for $500.
Damn.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing about these variants, man. It's like I definitely don't get them, but some people, man, $500 for a book that's not like a key and that's just like a variant cover that really is just, I mean, honestly, is kind of for your personal collection, right? I mean, there's not a lot of resale value in these, is there?
No, it's like it's weird because you figure it's less printed copies than the normal book,
right?
So, and there's going to be some books in here that, of course, are less print runs than the normal regular cover, or even if they do like an A and a B, and then a 1 in 25 variant, or even like that Delotto book. I mean, that's a 1 in 50. There was obviously other variants, but those are the harder books to get. So if that comes back in a 9.8, that's well worth more in the long run than like cover A.
Right. But it's a very niche like community that you're appealing to.
Oh yes. And then the last Zenoscope book, just Robin Hood.
That's cool too. Is all the same artist? Yeah,
pretty much. They're all Paul Green. He only does Zenoscope stuff. All right, so now we're going to get into some, stuff that maybe people actually give a crap about. This is Star Wars Tales number 23. This is the first cameo appearance of Revan and Malak. This is the variant edition because the regular cover is just like an X-wing, but all the variants are photo covers. So of course that's Wedge. So I'm hoping that comes back in 9.8.
So just so a lot of people know, Justin's been on a massive hunt like the past month or two, scooping up every Star Wars book he can get his hands on. Like literally our chat, he just sending me pictures of his hauls, which are like every single damn Star Wars book out there.
I finally just did the video today too. I'm going to edit it this week and post it. All the first appearances that I've been picking up over the past 2 months.
Nice.
Yeah, I just recorded it. I just need to edit the crap out of it. So
how many 2-in-1s did you get?
Oh, I don't show that off. But you know what's funny? Oh, because I showed you that. So if you guys don't know, CBSI posted that Kanan the Last Jedi or Last Padawan number 6 is like all of a sudden like a hot book because it's the first appearance of Sabine Wren. But if you go by CGC in the market, first appearance of Sabine Wren is Kanan the Last Padawan number 1. And it actually says that on the label.
Because she actually shows it, because the whole story is a flashback, but the series starts with them on the Ghost and him kind of telling his story.
Yep. They're all there.
They're all there. Yeah.
So, yes, Christopher Briggs, you will see a lot. If you follow me, send me a message on Instagram and I'll send you a picture of the first Sabine Wren. Next up,
12 copies of it.
Yes, all million. I have the first print, second print, the 1 in 25 variant, and 2 blanks. But I have a lot of the first cover. This is a book that I didn't show you. I showed you the variant. I have the variant right now at our sponsor, Rocket Comics, who's pressing it for me. But this is Star Wars Jedi vs. Sith number 1. This is the first appearance of Darth Bane.
Okay.
So, and the guy even said near mint plus 9.8 on eBay when I bought this. And I won this in a 1 bid win.
And what do you think? Does it look like it?
Oh yeah, no, it's super, super clean. It was in like 2 bags. There's not a nick on that. I really expect that to come back at 9.8.
That's the variant?
That's the regular cover.
That's the regular. The one you showed me was a variant.
Yeah, that was a Dynamic Forces one. So, and the last Star Wars book, and you saw this, Rise of Kylo Ren #3, first appearance or cameo appearance of Avar Kriss, who is, going to be part of the whole Star Wars Old or High Republic that they're doing. And I do show this off in my video, as well as Rise of Kylo Ren #3, the regular edition. So those are my Star Wars books. And now to actually get to some Marvel and DC.
Wait, before you do that, so all those books for sale or PC?
The Star Wars definitely going to keep. But all the Zenoscope stuff. I mean, I do have another copy of that Star Wars Tales 23. So and that'll be my next thing. After we do this 25 pre-screen, I'm going to send in nothing but a Star Wars invoice. And I'm not going to pre-screen it. I'm just going to send them in.
See what comes back.
Yeah, like I have from the Darth Nihilus to the Darth Bane, Thrawn, for Heir of the Empire, which is Thrawn and Mara Jade. I'm going to send in a Kanan 1. I'm going to send in my Clone Wars #1, which is first Ahsoka Tano, because that's getting pressed right now. Oh God, what else am I going to send in? A ton of the Sith guys. So where are the Transformers books? Sinister Collective, man. I have a Transformers 1 and a couple other variants, but I've actually been trying to unload a lot of the series.
That's my boy Ryan, and he's a big Transformers fan.
Oh man, he should definitely check out my eBay, because I've been posting a ton. I'm only keeping like the Marvel stuff and some of the original Dreamwave, but the IDW stuff, man, I actually just, change of topic, I sold the entire set of Lost Light, which was like 25 issues, and the Transformers Unicron run to some guy, and I shipped it in one of those medium flat rate boxes.
Yeah.
So, and that thing was heavy. So it was like 40 books, and that thing was like heavy as hell.
Dude, real quick, since on that topic, I just sent, I sold like a big run of Cable Volume 1 to some dude. It was probably like 100 books, something like that, right? Packaged it up, shipped it off. I don't know what the fuck happened, man. Like the tracking, it got all the way to his town in Texas.
Yeah.
And then they returned that shit to sender for some reason. They came back to me, and on the front it just said like undeliverable address, but the box was trashed, bro. Fucking trashed. And I couldn't even send, like it said return to sender, undeliverable address, but it was kind of cut off. So I don't even know if that was the reason. It might have also been because I sent it media mail, and that can be a little, sometimes.
Yeah.
But so I had to fucking package that shit off again, and I sent it off UPS this time. But I mean, in total, I think I paid like $25 to ship these books to this guy. Fucking, what a pain, man.
That stinks.
So,
I actually, just speaking of eBay, I sent some book overseas. So you know how it goes to Kentucky,
right?
And then it goes through GSP, the Global Shipping Service.
Erlanger, Kentucky.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I sent a book, and the guy received it. Yo, they slashed this box in half. It was in a medium flat rate. They slashed it across, and it actually damaged. I gave him like a couple free books, because sometimes what I'll do is I'll throw in some free books. They slashed the free book literally in half almost. Damn. It was so, and he's like, he's starting like a claim basically to get, and I'm like, yeah, but your book was fine. The other books that I gave you were just freebies. So like, why are you putting in a claim? Like, that means you're gonna have to send the book back to me, and you're not gonna get the book that you wanted.
Well, a lot of times with eBay though, the claim, usually eBay can be kind of fun because they'll just they'll reimburse him, and they'll let you keep the money, and then it's just like, cool, whatever. That's best of both worlds in my mind.
Yes.
I'm like, cool, I got paid. I don't have the books. I didn't want them anyway. And this guy gets his money back for free. Cool. So,
no, definitely. Anthony Debo says, how much are 9.0 through 9.6 first Deathstrokes worth? Are you looking to buy, or are you selling? Because I do have a 9.2 I will sell you if you're interested. I don't know. I don't even know what they're going for. I mean, he was definitely, that book was hot for season 2 of Titans, but it's definitely kind of dropped off, which now's the time for you really to buy it, because you never know if he'll show up in a movie or whatever. But since he was in Titan season 2, which I really need to go back and rewatch, I really like that season.
It was great. kind of wrapped around, all those stories. Sometimes there's like stories in there that they do that just are pointless just to fill up time. I kind of just, it's, I say this when I'm like, I wish they don't have so many episodes, but then when they only have 6 episodes, I'm like, damn, only 6 episodes, but sometimes the concise story is just way better in the long run than like
Like a 24,
where it's
yeah.
just total filler of like Starfire driving around not doing dick. You know what I mean? So
No, I agree. I totally agree. Let's just real quick. Let's go through these other books. This is actually a pretty cool book. You may actually like. This is Carnage #6. This is a cover swipe of Tomb of Dracula #1.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this book is, for some reason, I found out that this book is actually worth a pretty penny.
Really?
So that's kind of why I'm sending it in. Because I was picking
Carnage
up
run is that
the last one that went like 16 issues.
Oh yeah. With a lot of them were Clayton Crane drawn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have the second issue. I did all the variants. I did all the like the 1 in 25s. And this was one of the last. I think this was like a 1 in 10 or 1 in 25. I can't remember. So next up is a book that I already have in a 9.8. So I'm just trying to see if this is going to come back in 9.8 first. Red Hood, Batman 635. You know what? I was debating on sending this in because I really want another copy, but I want it signed by the artist and writer. So
I saw your recent. You posted a picture recently of like your Jason Todd shrine, which I thought was
it's
really
back
cool.
there.
Yeah,
you really can't see it, but yeah, that's I just changed up. I changed up the wall. I did a whole. Well, I'll do the other wall later this week, but the bottom was all the Jason Todd stuff. This was a really cool one. This was exclusive to, I think it's KRS Comics or Unknown Comics. It's Astonishing X-Men #1. This was a Mark Brooks variant of Psylocke.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've been holding on to this, and I've been meaning to have Mark Brooks sign it at like New York Comic Con when I go, but it just keeps missing the boat of like, cutting the box, and I end up forgetting about it. So I figured, you know what, now's the time. Let me just grade it. If it comes back in 9.8, great. If it doesn't, then maybe I will just have him sign it and slab it up. I got 2 more books. This is Guardians of Nowhere. This is the first cover appearance of Gwenom. Because this actually predates the Spider-Gwen 24, which is her first real appearance. Because this is when they did all the Gwen variants.
Yeah, I remember that run. I was reading that run.
Guardians of Nowhere. Yeah, that was a good run. I definitely enjoyed that one. And last but not least, this is a more recent pickup. This was the C2E2 exclusive DC's Unkillables foil variant.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough
foil.
to get.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's Jason Todd. So they had the regular cover. It's so hard to get this in the foil.
Yeah, is that #1 or #2?
No, #1. Yeah, not gonna get that. So, and this book is super clean. And you know what the problem is with these foils? I almost had to do it with like gloves because you put your finger on it and your fingerprint is just there.
Well, according to CGC, they don't ding for fingerprints. Remember?
According to who? Who said that?
Remember on their video when that dude was finger fucking that issue?
Oh, all right. Well,
and they were like, fingerprints aren't a graded issue. We don't grade fingerprints. It was like, wait, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, Man from Beantown says that if it runs, I think I'm gonna go back to C2E2 next year. Such an awesome show. Yeah, man, I went to that back in 2013 or 2014, and that is an amazing show to get to if you ever get a chance out in Chicago. So anybody who's watching this, I highly recommend that show. I want to go to it. I haven't been in such a long time. So
it's a little bit more geared towards games. Is that right? Than
no, it's straight up comics, man.
Oh, okay.
It's so cool. They have the way where it's set up at the McCormick Center is they have all the artists and writers on one side, and then everything is on the other side. But in the middle, they have like a second floor which overlooks the entire like surrounding area. So you can go up there, you can have food, they have beer, you can walk around. It's such an amazing place. And what's cool is they have, when you go on their website, you can actually book a hotel, and some of the hotels, they actually shuttle you to the convention center. So they have like certain places. So they'll shuttle you back and forth from where you're staying to the place. Cause it's like a good, I would say 2 miles.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more depending on where you stay, but they'll actually pick you up at a certain spot, drop you off, and then come back and pick you up.
So that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I really like about Chicago. So, go ahead.
Oh no, I was Man from Beantown said they have a beer garden. That's one of my things too, man. Like I've been to a couple cons that you can drink beer at, and obviously it's way better than like San Diego Comic-Con or even WonderCon. Like the one run by Comic-Con International, you can't drink at any of that shit, dude. It sucks. So you have to sneak in a flask. Like Tim and I at WonderCon last year, I'd snuck a flask of whiskey in, and we were just taking shots from it the whole time.
Oh my God. New York Comic Con, they do have a spot at the Javits Center. You go up on like the 2nd or 3rd floor. where like, well, they have like the food on the main floor, but then you go up to an upper level and they actually do have beer, so you can get it, but people aren't really walking around with it.
Yeah.
There was a show, and they still do it. It's out in Brooklyn. It's called the Five Points Festival. It's more geared towards like if you're looking to do your own like toys. But the first year was semi comics, but that was really cool because you could walk around with your beer. Like they would have beer trucks outside.
That's cool.
So I really like that. So
that's it. Those are all your books?
Those are all my books for right now. Yeah. Those are all the books. Again, I probably have a couple other ones depending on how long you send your stuff. I may get more stuff in and just want to send it out, but the majority of that is definitely going to be for sale. Not for anybody really here on the YouTube, because nobody really likes the Zenoscope stuff besides me. I have been selling a lot of those books off, but I still keep some of the really cool ones. So
yeah. I'll probably package those up this week and send them off. It's not like I got anything else to fucking do. So
no, I mean, it's funny. I went out this morning and I said to the wife, I go, I'm going to the post office. She goes, why? I was like, because I'm going to go mail out 2 big boxes. I was like, do you want coffee? She goes, of course. Because the Dunkin' Donuts is literally like 2 blocks from the post office. So it's like easy to get, the whole quarantine. But then of course, like I walk through the door and I take all my clothes off and I go shower, just, to put her at ease, basically.
Is she pretty worried about it?
Yeah, I think so, because I mean, I definitely come home from work and I literally just immediately go right upstairs and take a shower. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, you have the Lysol spray over there.
Yeah.
And
you just found it.
Yeah. So
this up here,
we're going to do an auction for that right now, guys.
Yeah. It's actually like maybe had like 1 or 2 sprays out of it. It's super full.
So it's funny. I'm cleaning the house today, or we're cleaning the house, and she left to go take a drive. And it's probably like 15 minutes after she's gone. And I'm like walking around. I'm like, did you take the Lysol spray? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I guess if she thought she was going anywhere, she would just get back in the car and spray herself down. So I'm like, damn, I needed that because I really wanted to use it for down here, just to kind of Lysol everything after I, pledged everything and furniture polished every little thing in this basement over here. So
my work is actually offering testing this week. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So I got to sign up for, should we do a live unboxing of my test results? COVID-19 live unboxing.
There you go. Just like open up the, what is it? It's going to come in an envelope and you just read it off.
Yeah. Right. No. So they have like, I got to call some number and set up an appointment. And then it's like, based on the instructions I got, there's like a drive-through. Like the instructions literally say, drive up, don't roll down your window until asked to do so. And then I don't know what the fuck you do after that, but we'll see.
They have that in some of the states I know. I think New York has a few, but they only have so many tests per drive-through. So it's like once they run out, they run out. So
yeah, so I think that's why with this, it's you're making an appointment so they know that like how many they're gonna have and stuff. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm good to go. And even if I'm not, like honestly, since this shit started, I haven't been interacting with people and I don't really get sick in general, but I don't know. I'm not too worried about it, but we'll see what happens. I've been hearing though that like they announced something recently that you guys might be, Trump was saying he might do a full on lockdown for 2 weeks in like New York and Jersey and parts of Jersey, talking about full on like lockdown, not just the, hey, please stay at home, but like you cannot leave your home.
Yeah. I was actually talking to, our sponsor Rocket Comics today, and he actually said that they're going to announce it tonight at 9 o'clock. They're going to make a decision at 9 o'clock tonight. And it sucks for us because like, obviously a lot of people who live in New Jersey work in New York. And that's the problem where if you live to one, and I'm sure Connecticut's the same way. If everything is all connected. If you don't live to one of these connecting states that are so close, you're really not that big of a deal. But it's funny. I got the letter on Friday that I'm an essential employee for my job. So if I do need to travel, I can travel to the office.
I also read something the other day that they were talking Rhode Island was straight up going to do some like Gestapo type shit and was like checkpoints into their city, and they're not allowing any New Yorkers to come into town. They were even talking about going door to door and making sure like no New Yorkers were staying with friends to protect Rhode Island from New Yorkers.
That's crazy. We were talking about it maybe maybe last weekend. The last live show that we did, not this past Friday, Monday when it was first quarantined. I was saying to Dave, I was just like, man, I was like, I kind of, now that all the shops are closed. Oh no, this was before the shops were closed. I said maybe I'll take a drive up to Connecticut. We'll get together with Everett, and then we'll go to shops. Now you can't even get to shops. So.
Yeah. So Christopher Briggs said Rhode Island does have that. They have the National Guard out. So
damn. And you saw the video that is in one of our private chats, the tanks on the train tracks.
Yeah, but you know what? Like about that, like I'm not saying that's not what it is, but living near a military base down here, and that's not uncommon. Like how else do people think they transport tanks? Like I know everyone looks at that and says like, oh my God, they're bringing the military into town. That's probably not the truth. It's probably just a normal procedure, and they're probably just moving tanks.
Yeah, because how else are you moving tanks?
No one's driving them from fucking San Diego to LA or whatever,
They're not going down like I-95.
Yeah, you're really shitty gas mileage.
Oh man.
I know. Was it you who commented on that also and said you saw someone else commented and said that they saw that in Chicago as well, and it was like the same fucking picture.
Oh man, no, I
So it's one of those things, and one of the other, just to dispel some rumors.
Is this comic rumors or Corona rumors?
Corona rumors. Just not to like disclose too much, and it's not like there's only 11 people in the chat and 10 now, and actually I'm one of them. You're probably the other one, so there's 8 people in the chat.
Hey, thanks for joining, everyone. It's all right. People watch on the rewind, man. It's all that matters.
So my job offers me a bit of insight information into some aspects of what's going on, and
because you're a scientist.
Yeah, because I'm a scientist. And I know a lot of people have been putting out, it was like, oh, I've heard from a reliable source that National Guard's going to come to town and lock everyone down. That's not true. Mm-hmm. And as of now, that is not happening. And trust me, I would probably be among some of the first people to know based on my job. So I got my family members were texting me, asking me questions like that. And I was like, no, as of now, nothing that I've heard of. So,
so yeah. I mean, I know being a Pentagon employee myself, I'm astute to a lot of this information. I knew weeks ago that Diamond was closing down, but I didn't say anything.
I've known for years that Diamond. I sold on my Diamond stock.
Yeah,
but that's the worst part about this.
Absolutely. I mean, and we've had this conversation of obviously there are some online sites where you can read comics, and are they going to be posting on Wednesday, Thursday? Like, are comics going to continue, or like Comixology?
I wouldn't think so. And the reason but granted, okay, so I'm definitely not like in the know on how it all works with the publishers, but I can't imagine Marvel's going to be like. Marvel or DC are going to be like, hey, we'll release our digital copies for websites like Comixology, because then they're going to lose so much money on hard copies, and that's their business. Like, say what you will, whether you prefer the online to a hard copy, majority of people prefer a hard copy book. Like, majority of people are not reading online. That's just the truth. And so much money gets generated by that because, Comixology, I don't know how they purchase the books for Marvel or DC, but I guarantee you they're not paying $3.99 an issue. You know what I mean? So they would, I don't think financially that it would be smart, or that Marvel or DC or any of the companies will release their digital copies. I don't think so.
No, I like reading it in hand. Every now and then I'll use a tablet. I think the people that have to travel for work are usually those are the people that, if they're on a train for at least an hour or something like that, or on a bus, those are the people that have the time to sit there and read it on their way to work, on their way home. Because I mean, it's just, I like being able to flip the pages. If I do read a comic, even on like my tablet, it doesn't have that nice feeling. So.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't retain it as well when I read it online. If that makes sense.
Because you can skim it. Yeah. Because you can skim it faster.
Yeah. There's that, and then I just I know I get what you're saying too. I get it though. Online reading I'm finding myself reading more online now because I'm trying to get rid of my collection. You know what I mean? Like I don't want all these books here anymore. Like I'm only collecting key stuff now that I really want for like my own reasons. So I'm looking at like I'm looking at 10 long boxes right now that I'm just thinking, get the fuck out of my house. Like I'd much rather just read them online. So
yeah, I'm actually gonna. I think if we do another Lords auction, I'm really gonna start with how like Ryan starts with his Batmans. I think I'm really gonna start with like my low end detective run.
yeah.
And I have like in the 400s, like early, like probably in the late 300s, early 400s, which is when Gary says he'll buy your 10 long boxes.
He doesn't want them. There's no keys in there. It's like all fucking Drek and like X-Men stuff from the 90s. Like, you want a bunch of new 52, Gary? Come get them.
Hey, I'm trying to hawk that stuff out of there too. I listed all like my birds of prey and everything else.
It's funny to me when you just said that, when you were like, yeah, I want to get rid of some of my detective low grade or low issues 400. Like only detective comics and action comics can you be like 400 and say that those are low. Like,
yeah, well, because they're at the 1,000 and
it's crazy
20 or something. Anthony Debo says, what do you guys think of these LCS taking a hit? Feelson won't survive.
Dude, so in El Paso, there's probably 3 or 4 comic book shops here, maybe 5. The one I go to I've been going to for 13 years. It's probably been open for 20. It's probably the oldest one in town. He'll stay alive. He's good to go. I can think of, he's going to take a hit though. And he's a good buddy of mine, which really, really sucks. But some of these other ones, I know a couple shops here in town I can think of that literally have no like back issues. They only survive off of weekly comics. Like they don't have slabs on the wall. They're not selling toys. They're not selling games. It's 100% their business is Wednesday books. They're going to be effed, bro.
Yeah, I agree. And I think right now, whether you're watching this live or on the rewind, the best way to support your local shops or any of the local shops near you is to go and just call them up if they're still open, which I'm sure they are. Obviously, they're a lot of these places are still doing pickups, curbside pickups, but obviously after this week is really just to read old stuff. So call them up, say, hey, listen, do you have even like a trade? Yeah, because you know what, they still need to, they're still trying to make money. So, I mean, I would call them up and say, hey, do you have this trade for sale? Or, I definitely can think of some image stuff that I'm missing that usually I read in trade format. So I may just call them up and say, hey, do you have volume, 4, 5, and 6 of this, or volume 1 and volume 3, whatever it is. And speaking of stuff that we're reading, do you want to kind of go into that?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Before we talk new issues,
sure.
Show off some stuff I've been picking up. So I've been recently getting over the years I've been selling off most of my collection, which was like at one point, man, I literally probably had every single X-Men comic tie-in, everything. And so I got rid of a lot of that stuff and auctions and whatnot, and it kind of sucked because I like to reread it. So I've been buying a lot of omnibuses and hardcovers and stuff. And one of my favorite X-Men storylines is Messiah Complex. It's probably like up there in my all-time favorites. So I picked up Messiah Complex, hardcover, and then I got the Kyle and Yost volumes 1 and 2 of X-Force.
Oh, wow.
In my opinion, are amazing. I like this shit better than I like Remender's Uncanny X-Force.
Really? Oh,
I would 100%. And then
we could debate that all day.
Huh?
I said you and me could debate that all day between X-Force run.
We come back to that. And then I also picked up I got 2 more coming in. I got Necrosha X and Second Coming, which kind of rounds out that whole storyline. So that's kind of what I've been reading lately right now. And then there's some single issues and stuff. But so back to Uncanny X-Force. Now you got me all hot and bothered by it. It's great. Don't get me wrong. Remender's X-Force is amazing, but it wouldn't exist without Kyle and Yost because it was that run in Messiah Complex that turned X-Force into that team of like killers and like the real special ops team. Like even the original X-Force stuff with like the Cable, they were just a ostracized X team. They weren't like the special ops team like this one was. So
yeah, it was a definite change. I mean, the writing is way different. And I like Uncanny X-Force because I think Remender's run is the best Deadpool in any comic.
Oh, okay. Now I could agree with you there. Because I hate Deadpool.
See, like I'm not a Deadpool fan at all, but reading Remender's Uncanny X-Force is probably the best Deadpool character.
Yeah,
without a
best
doubt.
iteration of him. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Deadpool. I mean, honestly, I don't like to give too much props to Liefeld, but I even like Liefeld's, the original Deadpool. I don't like the Joe Kelly Deadpool. I don't like the comedic break the fourth wall. It's campy to me. I'm not a Harley Quinn fan. I know you are, and that's a big fighting words point too. But I feel like that kind of writing in those characters, that's not my cup of tea. So I never really appreciate it. And you're right. In Remenders, they actually make him kind of bring him back to his origin of being somewhat of a badass. So
no, I agree. And the same thing with Harley Quinn. I'm a huge Harley Quinn fan. The giant statue or case right here next to me, her New 52 run is her Rebirth run is
Yeah.
Her best series was Gotham City Sirens. That is the best Harley Quinn. And I will reread those 26 issues. There you go.
There you go.
It's so great, man. That series is so good. But I will read Gotham City Sirens over and over because it is just normal Harley Quinn. It's not, again, like you said, it's not breaking the fourth wall. It's not campy. It's not kooky. It's just, it's good. It's good writing. And don't get me wrong, the DC animated universe show is fucking hilarious. But at the end of the day, like she's still not like that in the comics. Like they're not making her vulgar to that point in the comic books.
Right. Yeah, I read was it the New 52? I'm pretty sure it was New 52 because I don't think I did Rebirth of her because I was like, hell no. I think I read her New 52 run. Who was writing that? Was it Gail Simone?
The New 52 was Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti.
Yeah, Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. Yeah. Man, I couldn't do it, dude. This shit was hard to fucking read.
No, I have one. I think it was like a 30 issue run. I have 1 to 30. I have all the cover Bs. I have all the 1 in 25 variants, and I'm just missing a few like convention variants or store exclusives. But I love the character, but it was such a hard read. There was times where I'm just like, this is terrible.
So terrible, dude.
Yeah.
It was like, that's the one where she introduces from this recent movie, Birds of Prey, where she has like the badger that she carries around, like the taxidermied badger or whatever.
Bernie the beaver and and the old guy who's in the cartoon as well. Like he's in there. Like I just can't do it. And even now, like I try to just read it. Some of the issues are good. Depending on who's writing it, because they've been switching it around between and even the art. Sometimes the art will keep me there, but most of the time I'm just like, I just can't do it. I just can't.
Yeah. I actually, honestly, based off that run, I gotta go grab some beers here in a sec. You'll be on your own for a couple seconds, but
that's fine. I'll check out who's in the chat.
I can't read. Honestly, I want to tell you, after that run, it made me not want to read anything from Amanda Connor.
I agree. Her writing isn't the best for depending on the character. She definitely can write some characters. She did she's more of an artist, but with her and Jimmy, they usually do it together. Yeah. They did that Birds of Prey Black Label.
I read that. No, I didn't read that. No, because I saw it was her and I didn't do that.
Yeah, thank God it was really. I bought it for the cover because Derek Chu did the cover. That's the cover that I got, but. I just really wasn't. I wasn't a fan, and I really thought you figured Black Label would be more like what everything else has been, like Superman and Batman Damned and the Harleen and Joker and Harley, and just like it was not good.
Break out and do a few other things other than Batman. Don't get me wrong, love Batman, one of my favorite characters of all time, especially probably my DC favorite character. But I liked. Are you reading The Question?
I didn't read that.
I'd like them to do more. I'd like them to do any character from Justice League Dark. Do a Dead Man.
I think it'll come.
Black Label, and I'd boner City, bro.
Oh, I agree. I think it'll come I think doing The Question, doing this Birds of Prey thing. Well, Birds of Prey, I guess, is really for the movie, but yeah, they did that. What is it? Wonder Woman Dead.
Yeah, Dead Earth.
Is that what it's called? I know if Dave was here, he would know exactly because he gets it. But yeah, I definitely can see them do like even a Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
like a short run in Swamp Thing.
That.
And I agree with you. I think Dead Man would be really cool. I would probably beg for a Zatanna series.
Oh yeah,
Black Label.
Let me grab some beers. I'll be right back.
Sure, I'll take over and see what's going on in the chat. Man from Beantown The DC title, other than Batman, that was awesome for the New 52 was Aquaman. Amazing art and stories for that run. I agree with you. For the first 25 issues, Jeff Johns, Yvonne Reese, Joe Prado, writing and the art was amazing. After 25 was just downhill. After Throne of the King, I think that was where it ended. Who else is hanging out with us? See some other comments down here. I saw Knights of Ren, I saw that. I know, Gary, if you're still in the chat, I know you're going live at 8 on another channel, but let's see who else. There's some other questions. I think I saw some other questions. Someone asked me, Chris Briggs, you asked me a question. Oh, what golden age? You have a golden age flash for sale or trade? If you're still in the chat, let me know. I mean, I'm not really going crazy buying golden age books unless it's Batman, but let me know about that. A Detective Chimp miniseries. CT Cook once says that.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's funny that he says that because we were just talking in our Lords of the Long Box chat, and I said he's the only current DC Justice League Dark member that I don't have a first appearance. Granted, I'm not going to have Wonder Woman, but in that current series, he's the only one I'm missing first appearance, and that's a hard book to find.
What is his first appearance?
Ryan has it. It's like some. I mean, I'm gonna try to eBay it real quick, but it is like some weird. I think it's like a Superboy book, to be honest. Go ahead.
One of your books, dude. So here's my history. Obviously, I'm more of a. I don't want to say I'm more of a Marvel guy. I definitely started off more of a Marvel guy. I mean, X-Men is my shit, but I recently, there was a long time recent around New 52 and Rebirth that I was collecting more DC books than Marvel, and I actually probably still do collect more DC, but. One of the first DC titles I got into, I can tell you, the first DC books I ever really bought was, for some reason, I couldn't even tell you why. It was like a Deadman 6-issue miniseries where each cover, it was a different character. He jumped in their body. There was like a Green Lantern. I think he was in Nightwing's body in one. It was just a small miniseries, and I loved it, man. I was like, damn, I love this character. Then the other one I got really into and got all the tie-ins, which was horrible, was I think was it called The Death of Joker? Was that what it was? What was where they killed Joker? But they didn't actually end up killing him, obviously. What the hell was that called? That mini
was it more recent?
No, bro. This was back in when I was in high school. So this is probably 2000s, end of I graduated high school in 2002.
Okay. Death of the Joker.
Let me see. I'm gonna find the storyline. What it was called.
I can't think. I mean, there's so many. There's so many Joker books that. I mean, I'm sure I don't even have them all. What's going on, Geeky Swag Shop? Thanks for joining us tonight on this random live show. Shout out to him. If you guys are looking for Lords of the Long Box or NY Warrior t-shirts, check out the website. Use the code of LOTLB. Get 15% off. Yeah, I can't think of the back. I can't think.
I'm looking it up right now.
All right. Christopher Briggs says all flash number 9, 1942. Is it a key? I don't even know.
Is he talking about Detective Chimp? Maybe.
No. I think he's talking. That's the Flash book he's selling. The only Flash book other than a Flash 1, it would be first original Black Canaries, which I would probably want. That's just that's a book that I would want. First original Black Canary. What the fuck? I can't believe I can't think of this. What's? I know Ryan has it. He bought it, and it's like a weird. It's such a Adventures of Rex the Wonder Dog number 4 from 1952 is the first appearance of Detective Chimp.
Huh, crazy.
It is weird. That's a book that I guarantee you would never be able to find that in mid to high grade, because it's just
What year did that come out?
1952.
And I bet it wasn't even he wasn't probably a main character.
Oh, he wasn't what he's now. He was just in it, and he dressed up like a detective, probably.
Yeah. Dude, I can't think of what this storyline was. It was in it literally crossed over into every DC book. I remember I bought every single crossover. I'm searching I'm Googling Death of Joker or what it was called. I
can't even think. I mean, it's not the Death in the Families.
No. It basically, yeah, I don't know. Joker Last Laugh, I think is what it was called.
Oh, that was a one shot though, I feel like. I know. I think I know what you're talking about. It went through Birds of Prey, went through Nightwing, it went through Robin.
Everything, bro.
Yeah. I know which one you're
Joker's
talking.
last laugh.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Yeah, it went through. I know it. Yeah, because
It
each of
was
the covers
Joker's
had.
last laugh, and he
Okay.
didn't end up dying. I was so fucking pissed.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I haven't read that in a really long time.
It was garbage.
Okay.
But you know what was cool about it was I didn't know anything about DC really. Like I knew, you know, your Batman, your Superman. I knew like the basic mythologies, but it had me collecting books like I'm looking at the run right now, like Orion, Young Justice, Azrael, Impulse, JSA, Harley Quinn, Spectre. And these are some of my first like experiences with these characters. And I was like, damn, some of this stuff is actually pretty cool. So then when like the thing that really got me into DC was Blackest Night. And I loved Blackest Night. I collected all those issues. Then I eventually had all the hardcovers. And actually, it's my only DC omnibus I own is the Blackest Night 10th anniversary omnibus. And still my favorite DC storyline.
Yeah, I definitely like that a lot. Jeff Johns' run is probably one of the best Green Lantern runs ever. I have that whole series that he did. Blackest Night, the Sinestro Corpse War,
you
know, whatever it was, the Emerald, what is it? The
Emerald Knights?
Well, no, not that War of the Green Lanterns, which kind of rounded that out.
Yeah.
You know, he did great things for Green Lantern, bringing back Hal, even bringing back
Flash.
And bringing back Flash, yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Johns is one of the best DC writers of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say consistent. Like, he reminds me of, like, on the Marvel side, like Dan Slott, when Dan Slott was good at writing Spider-Man.
Oh,
like for a more modern thing. I mean, he was good for a while, and then it just it got, you know, whatever.
I don't know. I think by comparing Dan Slott with Jeff Johns, you're giving Dan Slott way too much credit.
Well, I'm saying like modern stuff. I'm not, you know, for someone who, because I mean, Dan Slott did Spider-Man for I don't even know, like almost 200 issues. I feel like he did a lot.
I would say Jeff Johns is more like the early Bendis stuff.
Okay.
Like an early Bendis, like Bendis at his prime for Marvel. And Jeff Johns is like the go-to guy that when DC's like, hey, well, maybe not anymore because now it's Snyder, but Jeff Johns is still a dude. Like when he writes, he's writing the epic stories. You know, he's doing that 3 Jokers whenever that comes out again.
June, July, who knows?
Yeah, but yeah, I love Jeff Johns.
Yeah, I've read so much from him, and I wouldn't say it's like tough because like I kind of want to get rid of that run, but I'm like, I know if I get rid of it, I'm gonna be like, I want to read that one day, and then I'm gonna have to end up buying like the omnibus.
Which one? Run the Blackest Night?
The whole Green Lantern, or even like no, just I mean like that's not something I'd get rid of, but like just his whole run, it's like the whole series before New 52. Yeah. He went into the New 52 Green Lanterns, and that's really where I really liked.
That's Blackest Night.
So wait, that's all like 10 issues and then all the tie-ins?
All the tie-ins.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
I'm missing probably like half the tie-ins, but and that's because some of them are like 3 issues and then some of them are just like one-offs.
Yeah, they'll be like there's like Superman Blackest Night, he has 3 issues, and then there's also like, you know, Spectre issue 8 or The Question issue 8, and it's like a Blackest Night tie-in or whatever.
Well, you know what's funny about that? A lot of those, so when they did the Blackest Night, all those books, like, they did Wonder Woman, they did Flash, they did, I think, Young Justice, they did Batman, but I know, like all those one-offs, I guess you could say, they came out so far after the issue. Like, how do I explain this? So like,
like
series
2 of Blackest Night came out, it wasn't even in order anymore.
No. So like, I know. So what did it go through? It went through the 3 issues of like Wonder Woman, whatever, Batman, Superman. But then, like you said, like Question is in there. I think a Titans issue is in there.
All of them. Catwoman, Flash.
Yeah, but a lot of those books were not ongoing at the time. So like, I know like Catwoman stopped in like 2008.
Oh, so you're saying like issue 8 and then they did issue 9 2 years later.
Yeah, like so that's what it is. Like Catwoman 83 or 82 came out, stopped in 2008, but then when they did Blackest Night, they had one more issue and it was that, but they still kept the number and it's still considered part of that run.
Okay, so it's not a one shot. It's
basically it's there. Like you would think that whatever, like whether it's issue 8 or 20 or 30 would have been the original final issue, which it would have been. But then when they did Blackest Night, like 2 or 3 or 4 years later, they still kept the number, and that's the final issue of that.
So on that topic, let me ask your opinion on this. What's your opinion on renumbering?
I absolutely hate it.
So yeah, it sucks, dude. Isn't that the worst? Like, so I have, and it's even happening modern right now, but I was looking through my eBay right now, some stuff I'm selling, and one of them came up that I was looking. So Generation X volume 1 ends with like issue 75, right? So then they did a volume 3 or they did a volume 2, which was like a 3-issue miniseries, but a volume 3, and they start at number 1, right? So after issue 8 or 9, they renumber and go back to, so then like the next issue, which would be issue 10, is now issue 85 because they're coming off the tail end of the first run. So now when you're trying to sell it, like it annoys me because I'm trying to sell on eBay. I'm like trying to list it as like Generation X 1 through 9, comma 85 through 87. It's like fucking A, dude. You know, like, so you have to type in like, you know, renumbering 85 through 87. It's fucking annoying.
See, like I've never had to do that with the Marvel books. But yeah, I can't imagine like having to sell that stuff. Like where do you, like what would you put? Like, or do you just put like volume 2 or?
I got one right here. Flash issue 752. So at 750, they renumbered or went back to the original numbering. So now if I ever want to list this Flash run from Rebirth, it's 1 to, who knows, 64 maybe, and then 752 to 750, whatever the fuck, you know?
The only series that ever did that, I mean, Batman luckily was, thank God, like series 1 went from 1 to 700 plus, and then they did New 52. But like, I remember when Wonder Woman was like that, they had so many Wonder Woman series, and then like they jumped to like 600 for like 20 issues, and then it went back to like number whatever it would have been. And I'm just like, I just don't understand. But yeah, Wonder Woman now went to 1 to 70, then went to 750, and now they're on whatever 753 or 754, same thing like Flash.
And I get it. Like I get it because you're like, okay, man, hey, we're at Flash. We've written 750 issues. That's a pretty milestone, you know. But then, and I also get it. Obviously, number 1s are hot because it's a jumping on point, especially with DC. But the good thing about DC is they do it way less frequently than Marvel does.
Oh, yes.
Which is awesome. But and when DC does it, they do it based on usually like some kind of a recreation of the universe, like New 52. So it was like, hey, these are honestly real number 1s. Like these characters starting a new storyline outside of Batman and Green Lantern. I think were the only 2 characters who kept their mythology in New 52. And so everyone else, it really was like Deathstroke number 1, pretty much, you know?
Yeah, because he's had some serious, but I mean, obviously I'm a huge Spider-Gwen fan, and it's like they went from volume 1 went 5 issues, and then it went 34 issues, volume 2. Volume 3 went 8 or 9 issues, and now she's on her 4th volume since she's came out like 5 years ago.
And barely 50 issues.
Yeah. And it's just like, why did you need to renumber?
Like if I was Spider-Gwen, I'd be embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed of myself.
It's annoying. It is the worst because then people think, it's like, oh, now I got to buy number 1 again. Now they're going to do tons of exclusive variants because it's a number 1, and people are it's going to be. And this is where my hate for Marvel comes in, because then it's like, well, the print run is so high. Oh, this was, in the top 10. Why is this book in the top 10 and not a DC book? Because it's a number 1, and everybody had all these exclusive variants and ratio variants. So it's like, let's just buy this book up. And I don't know. That's the one thing that I can't stand about Marvel, when people always pull numbers when they're like, oh, well, this Marvel book is in the top 10, and this, why isn't there more DC or this? Well, because that's why. You're constantly renumbering.
Yeah, I'm with you. Not so much like that, but there's so many things about Marvel that I hate. Like, and like I said, I probably am more of a Marvel guy. Like I love Marvel characters mostly more than I do DC. But Marvel just pisses me off in terms of, for so long, the renumbering shit, the number 1s, all that stuff irritates me. All the events. Every time I turn around, there's a fucking event that literally at the end of the event, no status quo has really changed. Like I could go back probably and name you 8 events where status quo did not change at all in the Marvel universe. And it was like this sold as an event. And then, of course, if you wanted to be a complete reader, which, you know, I guess that's my fault that I want to be, it's like, hey, buy Howard the Duck issue 4 also for the tie-in, which is complete garbage. And, you know, it's just to try to sell Howard the Duck issue 4 because no one was fucking buying Howard the Duck, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the last thing, obviously, Absolute Carnage. They had 5 issues. 5 issues became how many tie-ins? They started these series for like whatever, whether it was a one-shot or like a 3-issue thing.
Yeah.
Nobody, and then at the end, nothing happened. Like,
dude, so I'll do you one better on that is Absolute Carnage. So when we talked to Donnie Cates, Absolute Carnage was only supposed to be 5 issues. And then they upped it to 6 because they dragged it out. They dragged it out for another issue because it was already selling out at like issue 1. So it's just like when they tell me that also is like so I read, you said earlier, you read if the artist is still good. I literally will only read if the writing's good. If the writing sucks, I'm done. I can't do it. I'm a story kind of guy. So when you tell me that it's a 5-issue series and then all of a sudden issue 6 is now coming out, you've either now told me that your story is not ironed out or that you've just put in filler for money. And that pisses me off. That sounds like poor writing to me.
I've talked to, and this is actually, and a lot of people probably don't know this, and this is probably one of my. So, did you ever read Batman: Battle for the Cowl? So when
Not
Batman,
yeah, was
but you know
when Batman died and who was going to take over?
Yes,
yeah.
So I've talked to Tony Daniels a lot. I have all 6 issues signed by him and his colorist. And I've actually had nice long conversations with him. And he originally had that slated for a 6-issue series, but they shortened it to 3 because they needed to bring back Batman faster.
Yeah.
And because of other things that were happening. But that was originally slated to be a 6-issue run and not 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
he's had to cram in his whole idea into 3 issues, which I feel it's a great read. I love rereading it on trade format, but it definitely is too quick. Like you could have had more fights and more drawn out storyline without a doubt.
With Batman or Battle for the Cowl, was it a mini series or did it bled over the issues though too, right?
No, it was just Battle for the Cowl 1, 2, and 3. It had each had a cover with the different Robins as in Batman suits. Jason Todd had that like more badass like metal mask and the guns and but yeah, it literally was supposed to originally be a longer series, but he said that because something was going on with DC and they shortened it, which I don't know why, but I guess they wanted to get more into what was going on with Detective and Batman, knowing that like Nightwing was going to take over, and
which was great.
Yes,
which was great. But you know what? I will like if there's one character that I genuinely feel like he can't stay dead for very long. It's Batman, bro. I mean, that's the highest seller. You cannot. Bruce Wayne Batman. I love me some Dick Grayson. I love Nightwing. I love Robin, but he's not the same, man. It's not the same as having Bruce Wayne under the cowl. It doesn't sell the same.
Well, I mean, I think Snyder's run, which is Nightwing, which most people, if you really think about it, like if you didn't know and you're like, oh well, what's a great Batman storyline, and you say Black Mirror, people are not going to be like. They, obviously once they read it, they'll realize it's Dick. But if you heard that off the top of your head, you wouldn't think that. Oh yeah, this is a great run, and Nightwing is Batman.
Well, Grant Morrison's is his stuff is Dick Grayson also, and that's some of people's favorite fucking
the Batman and Robin or the Batman or
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that's good. No, his 26-issue run was
and people
good.
Love it. I hate Grant Morrison, but people love that.
I have a love-hate relationship with Grant.
I just hate him.
His stuff can be good, but some of his stuff is just way out there.
He thinks he's so smart.
No, I agree. If anybody's in the live chat, let us know what you guys think of Grant Morrison. Let us know. Or guys, if you're in the live chat, just name an artist or writer you guys want us to talk about, and we definitely will just, chop. We're just kind of hanging out.
We were totally bored, just wanted to drink and talk.
Yeah.
So.
Did you? So I mean, I guess we can kind of change off topic and kind of go some indie route. Did you read Once and Future, the newest issue?
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Oh, yes, it does.
Bro, my whole history of reading and even before comics all originates with Arthurian legend. So when you're telling me that they're going to write a comic book story about King Arthur and it's going to be written by Kieran Gillen, who's like one of my favorite writers, like I was sold months before it even came out. I was like, hell yes, it was great. So it's cool, man. And did you read the first 6 issues, right?
Yes.
And so at the end of, I'm going to say spoiler free. At the end of issue 6, it teased a new character.
Yeah, no, because it was wasn't it supposed to just be a mini?
It was supposed to be only 6 issues, but now, and then they made it an ongoing because it was so hot after like 2 issues.
But I feel like no, they didn't tease the character. They teased him in this issue.
No. They show. I don't think we're talking about the same character. They showed someone at like an epilogue in issue 6.
Oh, maybe I missed it, but I mean, he is shown in issue 7 at the end, right?
Are we talking about Merlin?
Oh no! I'm talking about yeah. All right, but you're right about that. But issue 7, they showed off a newer character, which he's a badass from lore.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't see that coming.
No, not at all. What they did with Galahad was pretty badass. But the character that they show off in issue 7, I think is really good. CT Cook says Tinian's Batman, good or bad?
Which run? Detective? Because I loved it.
Yes.
Yo, that storyline, where it's Red Robin or Tim Drake leading, and he's got his team. I love that. When Clayface is on that team, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Red Robin, Cassandra Cain.
It was Rebirth. It was Detective Comics Rebirth. Him, Batwoman, The Signal.
Yes.
Who else was on that?
Batwoman, Red Robin, Spoiler, and Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, and Cassandra Cain.
I love CT Cook says no, just a new one. It's tough to say because you figure he's only been doing it since 86, so 86, 87, 88. It's only really like 6 issues, but I like it.
So people didn't like it when it started. And I even, you know what? I liked it. That was the Mr. Freeze and the Mrs. Freeze. I thought that was cool. Mr. Freeze is
we're talking about just Batman. We're talking about Batman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Batman. No, it wasn't Mr. Freeze, was it? That was Detective. Was Mr. and Mrs. Freeze?
No.
Yeah, because by that time Peter Tomasi took over on Detective.
You're right. You're right.
That was okay. I like that.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, but yeah, Tinian's run is great.
When did he start? What did he start in Batman?
86, after Tom King finished the City of Bane.
And so what was the first issue? It was all this stuff. It's all leading up.
It was Deathstroke. Yeah, the first appearance for 86 was like the Deathstroke, and then the first appearance of whatever Mr. Teeth and some other character.
Yeah,
the whole
good.
No, they've been great. They've been real. I think they've been great, and even the art. And again, this is where I come in. I mean, I like Gillian Marsh doing it. I like Tony Daniels doing it. But I'm trying to think what Detective was
I agree
good.
With you, though. It's hard to tell yet because we're not even through his first arc.
Yeah. But that's how Tom King started. He did such a great job on just the Rebirth one shot. And then it started off good with the Gotham Girl and Gotham Guy. That's whatever, right? that were they Gotham Guy or Gotham, whatever their names were. And then he went into like the Fall of the Monsters, like the whole Monster City.
Yeah.
And then I don't really remember most of those 10 through 20 issues. And then it became the Proposal issue. And then
it just drug on a little bit, that shit.
What, the Proposal?
Yeah, the Proposal and the wedding stuff. There were so many filler issues.
Yeah.
And then there is a lot of hate out there for it.
Yes. Well, because you were expecting that at 50 and that's the way, and that was bad. That was bad marketing from them. They were like the wedding of the century, blah, blah, blah. And then like people were just like, oh, this is it. We got to get out of here. This is just terrible.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm pretty much done, man.
Yeah.
I'm tapping out.
Cool.
I'm exhausted.
We'll get some rest, homie. Thanks for jumping on. It was fun.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching this. If you guys were watching on the rewind, thank you guys so much. It's been fun. Manimal, thanks for jumping on for a good, we've been doing this for an hour and 20.
Yeah.
So,
I think I might jump on maybe Darth Castle. Or I think I'm going to get on with some other the statue dudes for a little while and chat as well.
Oh, nice. Well, I know there's some live auctions going on. I know Very Gary's over on some channel, so find him. Check him out on Instagram. But guys, thank you so much for joining. Manimal, thanks so much for being here, and we'll probably see you soon on Lords of the Long Box coming up this Wednesday. Peace out, guys.